Hello, everybody. Going to be doing a little art and talking a bit about practice and what it means to practice as an artist. I got asked, what was my working plan when I started practicing seriously? When did I start to practice seriously? And it's such an interesting question because I don't think that much about practice anymore. Now, I will say there was a time when I needed to learn anatomy and learning to draw, and I did some of those things in college. And then I also, took a number of life drawing classes and also worked out in my sketchbook trying to understand anatomy. So, in the context of anatomy, I do think there is value to practice. Similarly, if you're trying to learn some of the fundamentals like perspective, there is a certain amount of practice that has value. But at a certain point, I'm not sure that I think in terms of a practice mindset. I just make art. Just like this thing you're seeing here, this could be viewed as practice. This could absolutely be viewed as me trying to figure out line making and shape making and just playing with art. But that last line there is really more how I think about it. I think about playing. I think about making something that's not stressful and just messing around with line and shape and finishing it. And at some point, I would really encourage that as the mindset. Instead of thinking about practice, think about playing. And instead of trying to focus on getting things right or done, just focus on completing a piece. Focus on getting in there and making lines or putting down paint or ink or pencil marks, whatever it is, until it's done. And you'll find that you are absolutely practicing. If you do a lot of ink drawings, your brushwork will get better. Look at other artists and you will, say, okay, well, my stuff is, I wish it looked more like that. It's not to that point. What do I need to do to get it there? And put that in an actual piece. Put it in some sort of practical use because it's so easy to get in a practice mindset and never actually make anything. You're just constantly practicing. And I find that getting out into the world and actually making stuff and actually doing stuff, that's where you're going to find your voice. That's where you're going to find your audience. It's where you're going to make your best art. And you just got to keep going. So, in terms of practice, I would nix that and instead put time to play in your art schedule and then finish pieces. Keep finishing pieces. When you finish one, make a new piece and then finish that. And if you keep doing that, that I think is going to be far more valuable than any time you spend practicing. Just remember that art is a long game, it's not a short game. But it's also important to remember that even if you went to school, even if you have a degree, no one owes you an art career. Don't quit your day job. Monetizing art is absolutely hard. And so you'll need to find a way to play with art, to make art, to produce things on the side. And that's absolutely okay. You can work a job and come home and make art or sketch in your break time or however you're able to fit it in. But you got to understand that this is a long game, not a short game, and it's going to take a long time to get the skills that you need in order to succeed in that space. And so I would just encourage you to stick with it, keep making stuff, and you'll get there. But please don't make drastic financial decisions that are going to cause you undue stress and create an environment where you're unable to support yourself. I mean, I myself worked in marketing as a graphic designer for 8 years before I switched to illustration. And even when I switched to illustration, for a time, I was a stay-at-home dad, and my wife was the one who was making all the money. And while taking care of our new baby, I also found time to go to art classes and to workshops, and then started practicing and started learning. and then from there was able to evolve into an art career. But it was a very slow process. And I think that's the real answer to practice is steady work, keep at it, and recognize that this is just going to take some time. And that's okay. In fact, not only is it okay, it's actually kind of cool. Anyway, I hope this gives you some inspiration as you're working on your art. If you like these kinds of conversation, I do a monthly hostful on Patreon. That's at patreon.com/Sam Flegal. And there's always room at the table for someone like you if that interests you. And I really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. And in the comments below, please let me know your thoughts on practice. Do you practice with your art? What sort of things do you think are worth practicing? And what sort of things are just worth learning in an applied situation of finishing a painting? Thank you so much, and happy painting. I'll talk to you later. Bye.